right, dear listener, and welcome to your favorite show, Eyes on the Road, your go-to show for expert eye health insights. Of course, this show is proudly brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Now, July has been all about myopia awareness, and today we're going to be zooming in on a very, very, very important conversation. I'm talking about the complications that arise as a result of that condition, myopia. Now, it's better to know these complications, know them, detect them in time, and treat myopia in childhood before they progress into adulthood, and it gets really, really difficult at that time, to handle and manage. Now, school holidays fast approaching. For some, they're vacating by next week, and I think this is the perfect time for parents, to put comprehensive eye checks for their children at the top of the bucket list. Now, catching myopia early makes all the difference. It makes a whole world of difference. And of course, it's an open conversation. Your questions, your thoughts and contributions are welcome. My name is Akan Usen, welcoming you on the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our in-house doctor on the show, Dr. Priscilla Imade, is unavoidably absent today. She's out on a mission somewhere in Singapore, if I'm correct. Yes, and she sends her greetings all the way from the Asian part of the world. But of course, we have a very capable hand. Talking about none other than Dr. Aderi Bigbe Miolua Damisi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yes, she's an optometrist with Modern Eye Foundation. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akan.
So I hope traffic wasn't much of a bother.
No.
All right. And of course, my name is Akan Usen, welcoming you to the show. Of course, like I said earlier, we welcome your questions, your concerns, anywhere you need clarification. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Also, we'll be giving you traffic feeds as we go along. So, Dr. Aderi Bigbe Damisi, let's just cut it short. Can you, of course, give us a bit of, enlightenment on these complications, management and treatment of myopia? But for the benefit of those who perhaps, just to bring them up to speed, a few people do not even know what we mean when we talk about myopia. So let's do a bit of background and just delve into the complications.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, our dear listeners. Good to be back. So I'm talking about myopia.
Indeed.
Complications of myopia, but let's begin with what is myopia.
Yeah.
So myopia is also known as short-sightedness, and then short-sightedness is a condition where it's for persons it's clearer to see things near and up close than seeing things far away. So things are far are very blurry and they can't see it, whether it's letters or faces of persons, signboards, whatever the case may be, it's blurry. So for instance, let's say a child in school having difficulty seeing the letters on the board, that's an instance, or a driver driving and he can't see or she can't see the signboard, the letters on the signboard or whatever the signboard is saying. We also have instances of when you're watching TV and then you're not able to see it from where you're sitting. You have to move closer to the TV to see it. Yes, that's a condition where myopia is taking place at that point. Yes. Okay. So those are instances of myopia. It's basically when things are blurry at far, but when you look at things closer, it's clear. Okay. So myopia is usually seen in a lot of persons, but it starts from early on in life, like your childhood.
Children.
Yes, children. It starts early in children. And then there are a lot of things that can induce it, most especially screen time nowadays. So there's a relationship between screen time.
Screen time.
Yes,
so children
screen time.
that, for example, watch a lot of TV are more prone to,
exactly
predisposed to having myopia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Screen time, watching TV, watch your tab, especially those things that are up close, using your tab, using your phones, and we have lots of children doing that nowadays.
But that's scary because the average child, maybe a lot of parents use that to just pacify them when they're crying and all that.
Exactly. Just give them the tab. They're watching Coco Melon or all those their shows, Mr. Beast and the rest. Yes. So we have children having myopia at early onset. And then this can also progress. It can become progressive. So what does progressive mean? Progressive is simply that the myopia is getting worse.
Okay.
The eye condition is getting worse. It's more blurry. Maybe at a distance of 3 meters, they're able to read, but now they can't even read up to 3 meters. They're reading 1 meter. So it's getting worse over time. That's what progressive means.
Okay.
And then as it's progressing, it can now lead to these complications that we are going to talk about.
Okay.
Those are the complications of myopia. So by the time it's progressing, it's now high myopia. So they are using very high-powered minus lenses. So minus lenses are
very
used.
thick ones.
Yes, those very thick ones. You say Coke bottle. So those very high-powered minus lenses, they are like -6. Minus lenses are used to correct myopia, by the way.
Okay.
They are also called concave lenses.
Okay.
So when you start seeing -6, even -4 for a child that is like 5 is very high. So it's a sign that it's progressing, the myopia. Yeah. So this can lead to complications.
Okay.
And then these complications, retinal detachment, glaucoma, cataract, maculopathies, and all. So we'll explain what all these are and how it affects, how myopia can cause them.
All
Yes.
right. So just before we delve into that, of course, just to remind listeners, 091-538-77127 is the number you can call. 091-538-77127. If you want to send a message via WhatsApp, you can do 080-991-20777. That's 080-991-20777. We'd love to hear from you. Do ask and do call in and ask your questions. Back to you, Doctor.
All right, thank you. So let's delve to the topic of today,
Yes,
complications
complications.
of myopia. So the first on my list is retinal detachment.
Okay.
So first of all, what is the retina? So the retina is the back of the eye, or the part of the eye where light falls on and then we are able to see. So light has to hit the retina for you to be able to see things clearly.
Okay.
And specifically, it has to fall on the macula. So the
Okay.
macula is the part of the eye that makes you see things very distinct.
Yeah.
Yes, they are now clear and sharp when they fall on the macula. So light has to fall on that point for you to see clearly. And then if there is high myopia taking place, progressive myopia, it can lead to a tear in that part of the eye and a detachment. So that detachment now can lead to blindness. It can lead to loss of vision if it is not managed properly. So how does myopia lead to this retinal detachment? You're like, myopia is just that you cannot see, you wear glasses, you're now seeing well. So in myopia, short-sightedness, the eyeball is being elongated, it's being stretched
Okay.
more than normal. So because it's being stretched, light doesn't fall on the retina. Instead, it falls in front
of,
the
okay.
retina. So what glasses does is that it just pushes the light back to the retina, so it falls
so it will
on
fall
it.
on the right.
Yes, exactly. And they are now able to see things clearly.
Okay.
So in retinal detachment now, myopia rather is going to cause the eyeball to stretch. As it's stretching, the eyeball is getting weak. So it's
Okay.
weakening. The retina is weakening because, you know, if you pull balloon and you're stretching it,
Yes.
it gets to a point that
It
will
will
tear.
burst or
Yes, it
tear,
will.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's exactly what happens with the retina.
Okay.
It's stretched and it becomes weak and detached.
Detaches, okay.
Yes. So that's what causes that retinal detachment.
That's when
And
you don't use the glasses, right?
so in a case where you are even using the glasses, myopia can still be progressing. It can be getting worse.
Okay. Why?
and
Why
worse.
so?
So one thing, screen time actually
Yes.
can make it progress.
Screen time.
Yes.
So I'm just going to chip in this question. What is the optimal or recommended screen time for children?
Okay, so normally children should have reduced screen time on a normal basis. Like
Okay.
you cannot really say what's the recommended time. You can say 5 hours, but is it every child that will stick to that? So what you can just do as a parent is give your child time. Once you come back from school, you have at least an hour
Okay.
to do whatever you want to do on your screen,
Yeah.
and then pick up your book and and read.
Okay.
Like your normal physical book, read your book. If you want to play with your toys. Go outside to the park or garden if you are staying in an estate or somewhere safe, your compound, and play. People don't play anymore. Like I hardly see children play. I go to a house, I'm seeing the child on their tab.
1 hour at home. You say 1 hour at home is optimal, so to say.
Sorry?
You said 1 hour is
1
fine.
hour for a child. Like
For a
what are
child.
you doing on
But
your screen for that long?
even in some schools, they actually
Use their
to pacify the children.
Exactly. So
use as educational aids and all that.
exactly. So you're now doing all of that in school, still coming back home to spend 5 hours on your screen. That's rather too much. So just reduce the screen time for your child. Have a time for them to use their screen and let them read their physical book.
Okay.
That is what's going to work. And then in progressive myopia, it is also hereditary.
Okay.
It's genetics as
so
well.
there's a genetic factor.
Yes,
to
there's
it.
also a genetic factor to
Okay.
it. So you are seeing a case where the mom, the dad have myopia, some of them even high myopia, and then the child is also having it. Most likely, the child is going to have progressive myopia. So it's genetics as well. And then even in adults, so adults, their eyes are already formed
Yes.
when they are much older, right? So if their myopia is, or rather their eye is stable, so myopia progressing for them at that point may not be, but that prolonged screen time can worsen their myopia, except if they've already had progressive myopia from the onset.
Okay.
Yes. So screen time can worsen myopia for them. And then if they already have that progressive from when they are younger, yes, it can definitely lead to these complications as well.
Okay.
Okay. So that retinal detachment now is usually surgery that can take
So
care
that's
of
the
it.
only way to.
Yes, there is no medication or I don't know that can heal the retina back. It's surgery that used to
Okay.
do that. So you just have to, from the onset, take care of it because I mean the eyeball or the retina is already weakened, and then you're introducing surgery again and all of those things. So just tackle it from the onset. Go to the eye clinic, have your eyes checked, and then you can also opt for options of myopia control lenses and other like eye drops. There are some specific kind of eye drops you can use that can manage or control rather myopia progression and all. So yes, that's that retinal detachment.
Okay.
Another condition is macular damage, which is known as maculopathies.
Okay.
So what is maculopathy? Is basically degeneration of the macula. So if you remember at the beginning, I said that the macula is the point where light will fall on and then images are now distinct and clear.
Yes.
Now that specific point now becomes damaged, is degenerating and
Okay.
getting worse and worse over time. That is where you're now having those maculopathies on the macula. It's the same thing. The eyeball is stretching and it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So because it's getting weaker, this degeneration starts taking place
Okay.
at the back of the eye, which leads to this maculopathies forming in the eye. And it can reduce vision drastically. And if not taken care of early, it can take away vision. And vision that has been taken away by these maculopathies can't be restored. It cannot be reversed back. So the damage is done and is done for good.
Like it cannot be
Yes,
treated.
there's nothing that can bring back that vision.
That's a
So
scary thought.
once they see that it is maculopathy, it can be, should I say, managed to
Okay.
try not to make it get worse. But any vision that has been taken from that is gone. Like you cannot bring it back again. So that's about macular damages or myopic maculopathy.
Okay.
Myopic maculopathy, not macular maculopathy.
Okay.
Myopic maculopathy.
Okay. So there's a difference.
Yes, there is a difference. So
Myopic macular
myopic maculopathy.
maculopathy. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
that's it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so that's that on that. And then if we move on to the next one, we have glaucoma. So
Okay, that's the scary one. That's really scary.
all of them are scary.
Yes, but of
They're
course,
all scary.
the study we had on glaucoma,
Yeah.
saying it's the silent thief of sight and all that, and you saying this is also a complication.
Yes, it's also a complication of myopia.
Well,
or
what's the connection?
the
Though?
connection? Okay, so I'll explain that. So you see that myopia is not just oh, I cannot see far, I cannot see far. There is a lot that can come with this myopia, especially when it's now progressing.
Okay.
So please, I'm using this again to tell everyone to go and have their eyes checked. Take your children to the eye clinic. Let them have their eyes checked because some of them may be experiencing or having this condition called myopia, and you are not aware. They are not aware. And you see cases where persons come to the clinic and they say, oh, they thought this is how everybody sees normally, like this is how the normal eyes are, because they are not aware, they don't know. So once you start noticing all these small signs, like, oh, I'm not seeing things, or I'm watching TV, I cannot see from where I'm sitting, I have to move close, or I cannot see the board and things like that, please just go and have your eyes checked. Okay, so now we're talking of glaucoma and how myopia can lead to glaucoma.
Yes.
It all comes to that very same thing we've been saying, that stretching and elongation of the eyeball.
Yeah.
So there's a part of the eye called the optic nerve. The
Yeah.
optic nerve is what will send information to the brain and all of that, will process it, you know what you're seeing. Yes. Now, when the optic nerve starts getting damaged, that is where glaucoma is taking place. And then usually is due to increased intraocular pressure.
Okay.
So that's increased eye pressure.
Okay.
So when the eye pressure is high, it will start pressing on that back, that optic nerve back, and then the optic nerve start getting damaged. Okay, so that's what causes, or that is glaucoma basically taking place. Now the eyeball is stretching, right? As it's stretching, the optic nerve is also weakening, and as it's weakening, those optic nerves are damaging. Okay. And
as the pressure increases.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the pressure may not even increase. It can just be normal tension, but then that stretch, that pull can cause that damage. And then it can also lead to an increase in pressure.
That's like for a prolonged period of time, so to say.
Yes, it's gradual. That's why
Okay.
it's progressive.
Okay.
Gradually. And that's even how glaucoma works. Glaucoma doesn't just come once. It's gradual. There's glaucoma taking place, and then damage is you get. So that's it basically. And then it can also lead to that increased eye pressure. That increased eye pressure now is in a case where there's fluid in the eye called the aqueous humor.
Okay.
So that aqueous humor is drained constantly, and then it will be, should I say, replenished and drained, and yes. So there's a part called the trabecular meshwork or the Schirm's canal. There are parts that drain.
Let me pretend I know what that is.
So there are the parts that drain the aqueous humor from the eye.
Okay.
Now, in a case where those where the fluid is not draining,
Not working properly. So
yes, it's not working properly. So the fluid is not draining as efficiently as it's meant to. So pressure is now being built in the eye. So that pressure is going to press on the back of the eye, causing the optic nerve to damage even further, which is what takes place in glaucoma. Now, the eye is already weak from the stretching of the eyeball. The retina is weak from that stretching of the eyeball, plus the build-up in pressure. It will definitely lead to the glaucoma at the end of the day. So that's why it is important to check your eye and know the state of your eye.
All right. So talking about checking your eye, let's just to see what traffic is looking like at this time.
All right.
Okay. So I see that the control room is they're giving us a bit of a compilation at this time. But before that, let's just see from our live camera update a few selected spots. This is just around our end here, testing ground on the Obafemi Awolowo Way, and it's all about traffic light or alternation. So intermittent busy movement is what you'll experience if you're on that end. Of course, do take note, return journey influx is beginning to build up, but I see that the traffic managers are seriously at work making sure things move as smoothly as possible to the best of their ability. But do expect that as you come in that direction, there will be on and off busy movement on that. And I also have a good view of this is around the PWD, but my view is from the Works Road and the rail junction. Just by the rail junction, I see that on PWD it's still a very smooth movement for those heading inwards Ikeja long. It is nothing to worry about. Moving along another part of town, this is the Alakbere, and things are looking smooth, things are looking good. Of course, be aware of the fact that we have some construction work ongoing around Ifako. Yes, that expansion joint on the bridge, which of course makes a gap. So there's a bit of a gap after the Ifako expansion joint. We have a very good movement all the way through to the Alakbere and beyond. But coming from the 3rd Mainland Bridge, of course, do note, take factor that as you head inwards ifako, you might experience a bit of a slow movement. And this is the Obakran end just by Denny Jones Junction. It is still a very flowing movement, looking really, really good. Nothing to worry about, I must say, at this time. And where else do we? Okay, this is the Okpebi Link Bridge on the Kuda Tapiola Way end. It's all about influx, and alternation. But of course, I see that the traffic managers are busy at work trying to make sure things move as smoothly as possible. Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, precisely around the Mongoro bus stop end for those heading inwards Ile-Izik, and those heading away from Ile-Izik towards Mongoro and Cement. You have nothing to worry about at this time. It's still a very, very good movement. We're talking about complications arising from myopia, and Dr. Aderibigbe Damisi has been doing justice to this topic. She has touched on a lot of complications that could arise. She mentioned the myopic maculopathy.
Yes.
She also mentioned glaucoma could also be one of this. Of course, the phone lines are open. You could call in, you could ask questions, seek clarification. 091-538-77127. You could also send a WhatsApp message to 080-991-20777. Final few minutes of the show. We're still going strong and giving you the information you need. So doctor, I will be handing over to you, but of course I mentioned the fact that how much is too much, how little is too little, as per exposure to screen time and all that. What do you think? So even in places of learning, I see a few schools, they even use that as part of their unique selling point. When they do advertisements, they say, okay, our schools are CBT ready. Isn't that going to cause a whole world of harm in the future?
So there's studies even say that by 2050, half of the world is going to be myopic.
2050?
By 2050.
That's not too far from. That's like 25 years.
It's not actually
here.
far. So half of the world, just
Okay.
imagine half of the world being
It's
myopic.
going to be short-sighted.
Yes, will be short-sighted.
In plain English.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, half of the world is going to be short-sighted. That's crazy. So one of the things that we can do is introducing break times even while you work on your system.
Okay.
So let's talk of an adult, for example.
Yes.
A lot of persons are working on their laptops, their devices because of work or whatever they are doing. So while you're working on your system, you can practice the 20-20 rule.
2020. Could you explain that?
So 20-20-20 rule is
Yeah.
basically you take a break every 20 minutes for 20 seconds. Look at something 20 feet away, or just calm your eyes, relax your eyes.
20.
Yes, 20-20-20. So for every 20 minutes,
Yes.
take 20 minutes break.
Yeah.
Yes, and 20 seconds break and look at something 20 feet away.
Okay.
Look elsewhere, relax your eye, close your eye, rest, blink, moisten your eye surface, and get back to your work. So that's going to help to reduce digital eye strain.
Okay.
And then in taking breaks for children, so it will help.
So do we need to
that
set like an
prolonged exposure.
alarm or something to remind us? Because sometimes when you're staring at your screen, you get carried away.
Yes, you can actually do that. That's even the best thing to do,
Okay.
setting alarms.
Okay.
It will help with the digital eye strain aspect. And then also for children now, the first thing to do is to diagnose first of all that the child has myopia, so you can also control it. So there are, like I mentioned earlier, there are options for myopia control lenses.
Okay.
So myopia control lenses, basically what it does is that it will help to I think I should go back to explain what myopia control lenses are first of all.
What are they?
So myopia control lenses, they come in a way where the central point of the lens is going to help you see as you're meant to see, while the peripheral edges is going to prevent light that is entering into the eye not to go behind the eye.
Okay.
So your normal conventional concave lenses for correcting myopia, what it does is that you are able to see clearly, but there are still some peripheral lights that
escapes.
and go to the back of the eye.
And that's harmful.
Yes, that's harmful, because when it goes to behind the retina, the eyeball now grows longer to try and catch up with those lights.
Okay.
Yes. So as it's growing longer, it's trying to catch the light. You're still putting on your glasses. It'll still be pushing the light behind. So it's getting longer and longer, which leads to that progression of myopia.
Okay.
So you can opt for myopia control lenses to prevent that. Yes, in children. Mostly children, because once you're much older, you can't really use that myopia control lenses again. So that's why you just catch it early and then deal with it early on. You understand? And then monitor your screen time as well. Reduce your screen time.
Reduce screen time, okay.
Yes, reduce your screen time, and also wear your protective lenses for the digital eye strain aspects, like your blue cut lenses and all. And then you're good. There's really nothing, because we're evolving, so you continue using your system and your phones. It's just doing what you can do to protect your eyes at this point in time. Yes, because the eyes were naturally made for all of these things. God made our eyes.
Dr. Priscilla said that.
Yes, they are not naturally made for all of these things. So now that we are using our eyes to do these things, let us take care of them as we should. Yes,
true.
So that's it, basically.
All right, it's been an eye-opening, yes, and really, really enlightening time on the show. Doctor, I must say thank you very much, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come do this great work. Sight saved is life preserved. So, dear listener, make that eye appointment today, and just go out there and get your eyes checked. Most importantly, don't ignore any sign of discomfort in the eye. Stay safe with healthy eyes, and never, never, ever compromise on your vision. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you could always go to our Facebook page, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, or our YouTube channel, Traffic Radio 961, and search for the keywords Eyes on the Road. I could always say, don't enjoy alone. Share, share, share. Dr. Priscilla Imade, OD, MSc, PhD in Public Health, consultant, optometrist at Modern Eye Care Foundation, and a fellow of both the American Academy of Optometry and the Nigerian Optometrists Association, who, of course, is not here with us today, but will definitely be with us on the next set of episodes of the show. Definitely, if you want to, reach out, you can always call 080 3333 6672. That is 080 33 6672. And the clinic, Eye Care Foundation, is situated at plot 16 to 18 Ogunusi Road, opposite Omole Estate, phase 1 by Akyode bus stop. That's at Ojodu Beja, Lagos. And this brings us to the end of the show. On behalf of our production team, led by Micah Arocha, with assistance from Adeleke Toluwalashe, we also have with us the name Omolade and Elizabeth, okay, and Korede Adeni, okay. So everyone here with us on this great episode of the show. Not forgetting our executive producer, kudos to him, talking about none other than Tayo Akonle. My name is Akan Usen, wishing you all the very best. Eyes on the road, your safety, our priority. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. See you next week. Bye for now.